Picture this. A place where young women disappear. Just gone. Poof. This isn't a scary movie. This really happened in the Vanishing Triangle, a part of Ireland, a place known for people going missing and never being found. Back in the 1990s, several young women vanished, all in the same area. Dublin, Limerick, and Waterford are the corners of this triangle. The way they disappeared was spooky. Lots of questions, not many answers. The Vanishing Triangle became a scary place, a reminder of bad things happening, even in the daytime, even in places that seem safe. These cases scared everyone in Ireland, and they still make us uneasy today. What happened to these women? Were they hurt by someone? Or was something even worse going on? These questions stick with us, like a song you can't get out of your head. Annie McCarrick, a young American woman, was full of life. She had a bright future ahead of her, filled with dreams and aspirations. Her infectious smile and adventurous spirit made her a joy to be around. She came to Ireland to study, to see a new place. She wanted to immerse herself in the rich culture and history of the country, and to make new friends along the way. She had no idea how scary things would get. The picturesque landscapes and friendly locals masked a darker reality that she would soon encounter. On March 26, 1993, Annie vanished, gone without a trace. It was as if she had simply disappeared into thin air. The last place anyone saw her was Enniskerry, County Wicklow, a quaint village known for its scenic beauty and tranquil atmosphere. A pretty little town. Lots of people go hiking there. It was the perfect place for a day of exploration and adventure. Annie planned to spend the day in the Wicklow Mountains, but she never got there. The mountains, with their rugged terrain and dense forests, held their secrets tightly. Even though people looked everywhere, nobody found Annie. Search parties combed the area, but there was no sign of her. The only clues, her bag and her things, scattered as if she had left them in a hurry, found near Johnny Fox's pub, a popular spot for both locals and tourists. What happened to Annie? Did she get lost in the mountains? The dense forests and rugged terrain could easily disorient anyone, or did something bad happen to her? The possibility of foul play loomed large in everyone's mind. Years went by. The case grew cold, leads dried up and hope began to fade. Then a little bit of hope. In March 2023, the police started looking at it again. New technology and fresh eyes brought renewed energy to the investigation. This time, they think it was murder. The evidence pointed to a more sinister conclusion. But nobody knows for sure what happened. The mystery remains unsolved, leaving more questions than answers. Finding justice for Annie still seems far away. Her family and friends continue to hope for closure, but the path to the truth is long and uncertain. Jojo Dullard was a fun, happy young woman. She was known for her infectious laughter and her love for the outdoors. Friends and family remember her as someone who could light up any room with her presence. She had lots of dreams. Jojo wanted to travel the world, meet new people, and experience different cultures. She often spoke about her aspirations and the adventures she hoped to embark on. On November 9, 1995, she was going home. It was a chilly evening, and Jojo was eager to get back to the warmth and comfort of her home in Callan, County Kilkenny, hitchhiking from Dublin to Callan, County Kilkenny. She had done this route many times before and felt confident in her ability to get home safely. She'd done it lots of times. Jojo was familiar with the roads and often relied on the kindness of strangers to get her to her destination. But this time, something went wrong. Really wrong. The night took a dark turn, and Jojo's journey home became a nightmare. The last anyone heard from Jojo was on the phone. She had stopped at a phone booth to call a friend, hoping to share her whereabouts and plans. She was talking to a friend. Jojo mentioned that she was waiting for a ride and would be home soon. She told her friend a car had stopped for her. She described the vehicle and the driver, trying to reassure her friend that everything was fine. Then the phone went dead. The sudden silence was alarming, and her friend immediately felt a sense of dread. No one ever saw Jojo again. Her disappearance left a void in the hearts of those who knew and loved her. The police were worried right away. They launched an extensive search, hoping to find any clues that could lead them to Jojo. Jojo's phone records showed something creepy. Someone had messed with them. The tampering suggested a deliberate attempt to cover up what had happened, like they were trying to hide something. The investigation took a darker turn as more unsettling details emerged, and someone said they saw a man, acting strange. This sighting added another layer of mystery to the case, near where JoJo was last seen. The area became a focal point for the investigation, with police combing through every detail. For years, nothing happened with the case. It remained a cold case, with no new leads or breakthroughs, like a dark cloud over the town. The community was haunted by the unsolved mystery, and JoJo's family continued to seek answers. Then, in November 2024, something new happened. A breakthrough in the case brought renewed hope. The police arrested a man in his 50s. This arrest was a significant development, potentially bringing the case closer to resolution. Could this be the answer? The community and JoJo's family anxiously awaited further news. The investigation is still going on. Authorities are meticulously piecing together evidence to ensure justice is served. People still hope for justice. The memory of JoJo Dullard lives on, and the quest for answers continues. Deirdre Jacob was a young woman with a bright future. She was 18 and wanted to be a teacher, but her dreams were shattered. On July 28, 1998, Deirdre disappeared. Just a short walk from her house in Newbridge, County Kildare. Security cameras caught Deirdre walking towards a main road. And then, nothing. It's like she just vanished into thin air. Even though people searched everywhere, they never found Deirdre. Everyone in Ireland was shocked. How could a young woman disappear in broad daylight, so close to home? Not knowing what happened made it even scarier. In August 2018, a little bit of hope. There was new evidence that suggested something bad had happened to her. The police started looking at it as a murder. They are still looking for answers. Catherine McAllister, a 32-year-old single mom and nurse, was a really important person in her community. She was known for her dedication and kindness, always putting others before herself. Everyone knew she was reliable and cared deeply for her patients. Her warm smile and gentle touch made her a beloved figure in the town. So, when she vanished in February 1994, it was a huge shock for everyone in her hometown of Carrick-on-Suir, County Tipperary. The news spread quickly, leaving the community in a state of disbelief and concern. Catherine was last seen walking near her home, a familiar route she took every day. It was a routine she never deviated from, something she did all the time without any issues. Her neighbors often saw her and exchanged friendly greetings, but on that fateful day, she never came back. Her sudden disappearance left everyone puzzled and worried. It was a real mystery. The entire town was engulfed in a sense of unease and fear, especially since she didn't seem to have any problems and there was no reason for her to run away. Catherine was happy and content with her life. Even though people looked everywhere and asked for information, the case went cold. The search parties combed through every possible location. Not having answers made it even worse. The lack of closure haunted the community. Catherine's family and friends were heartbroken. They clung to hope but were tormented by the unknown. Catherine's disappearance shows how unpredictable life can be. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of our daily routines, how even everyday things can turn into something terrible. The normalcy of life can be shattered in an instant. No one knows what happened to her. The mystery remains unsolved, leaving a void in the hearts of those who knew her. It's a scary reminder that sometimes people just disappear, and the questions left behind can be the hardest part to live with. After all these women disappeared, everyone in Ireland was scared. Really scared. People wanted answers. The police knew they had to do something. They started Operation Trace, a special group of police. Their job to look into the disappearances in the Vanishing Triangle, to find a connection, a pattern, anything that could help them find the missing women. The team looked at each case very carefully. They followed every clue, even the small ones. Even though they worked hard, Operation Trace didn't find any big answers. The disappearances remained a mystery. Was it one bad person, or lots of separate sad events? No one knew. Operation Trace may not have helped the families find out what happened, but it did show everyone that we need to be more careful, and that we need to keep women safe. As more women disappeared in the Vanishing Triangle, a scary idea came up: a serial killer. Could one person be responsible for all this sadness? The cases were similar. Young women, vanishing without a trace. It was too scary to ignore. Experts looked at the evidence, trying to find anything that pointed to a serial killer. More and more people started talking about it. The news and everyone else were talking about it. The idea of a serial killer in Ireland was terrifying. Even though it's possible, there's no real proof that the cases are connected. Not knowing for sure makes it even scarier. The disappearances in the Vanishing Triangle scared everyone in Ireland. The news was talking about it all the time. Newspapers had stories every day. TV reporters went to the small towns, trying to find any little piece of information. Everyone was talking about the disappearances. Everyone had an idea about what happened. The idea of a serial killer spread quickly. People were really afraid. Parents didn't let their daughters go out alone. Women were scared to walk by themselves. The news kept reminding everyone about these cases. Documentaries like the one on RTE1 called Missing Beyond the Vanishing Triangle looked closely at the disappearances. They talked to families, investigators, and experts. They kept hoping for answers. The Vanishing Triangle is one of Ireland's biggest mysteries. The cases are still unsolved, the families still have questions, and people are still afraid. The disappearances remind us that life can change in an instant, and that bad things can happen, even when you don't expect them. Not having answers makes it even sadder. These women were more than just names in a police file. They were daughters, friends, people who were loved. Their stories should be remembered. The families of the missing women are still looking for answers. They still hope that someday they will know what happened. The Vanishing Triangle reminds us that even today, some mysteries might never be solved.